So some interesting stuff happened. At least it interests me. It's about Destiny, and none of this has anything to do with Destiny as a character or a person. You're free to dislike him if you. In fact, I encourage it. Until Destiny owns up to him encouraging his fans to fucking hack my website, any bit of charitability I give him as a gift. But whatever. This isn't about that, okay? This is about real-life politics, which is, all things aside, infinitely more important than any of the stupid online bullshit drama beefs that people, including myself, get involved in. So, fresh off the success in Georgia, when he canvassed for Warnock and Ossoff, Destiny decided that he would get his fans to go help push for Mark Gudgel, I think, who's a mayoral candidate in Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha being, you know, the big Nebraskan city. It's where Destiny grew up, you know, and the current mayor in Omaha is apparently just a real piece of shit, like real piece of work. So good. Local advocacy, great. Wonderful. Yeah, maybe the only Nebraskan city, possibly. The city-state in the center of a large provincial territory named Nebraska. I don't even know. I've never been to Nebraska. I've seen photos of wheat fields. You know, it's whatever. Anyway, no matter how fake of a state Nebraska may be, I'm sure the people in Omaha are fine people. They deserve good representation. So anyway, Destiny, this time he wasn't just going out there doing door-to-door knocking. I mean, he was talking with the mayoral candidate. He had the mayoral candidate on his stream. They spoke. There are photos of them together. You know, and that ended up being a key difference, because this message just came out, I think 36 hours ago, from Mark Gudgel. Friends and fellow residents of Omaha, Nebraska, recently I was made aware of a deplorable statement made by Stephen Bunnell II, aka Destiny, inciting violence on the platform Twitch. On Tuesday, I issued a statement through my campaign condemning his words. Since that time, more and more of Mr. Bunnell's reprehensible statements, all of which I condemn, have been brought to my attention. Now, to be clear, okay, I'm going to finish reading this, and then I'm going to give you the full context, okay? Effective immediately, the Gudgel for Mayor campaign is severing all ties with the omni-liberal movement and founder Stephen Bunnell. His statements do not reflect our campaign's values and priorities, and we will no longer accept his support in any form. I recognize that my initial decision to associate with Mr. Bunnell was a mistake. I was excited about the work of OLM in Georgia and the outcome of the Senate runoff election, and I failed to vet Mr. Bunnell properly as a result. Had I done so, I would have not accepted his aid to my campaign. For this failure, I am truly sorry. I hope that members of the community forgive my lack of judgment in this matter, and I sincerely apologize, and everyone in Omaha who has been hurt for this. To anyone and everyone who's been hurt by this. So, I know what some of you are thinking. Misfortune has befallen Destiny. This is funny. And while misfortune, in general, in a Schadenfreude sense, is usually funny, I do not find this even slightly funny. So I'm going to give you the entire context behind this. Destiny has been doing work, and keep in mind, by the way, it's not just Destiny. He's been bringing over dozens of his fans. I mean, these are good people. Like, whatever problems you have with Destiny, the people in his community, they fly out there, they stay in hotels, they spend weekends. Some people he's had full time in Omaha that are coordinating this campaign effort. I mean, these are people who deeply care about Omaha or about political engagement in general. So this is also a rejection of them because they're also a part of the movement. Now, I think that they're still kind of unofficially door knocking, but this is still a major setback. So here's what happened, okay? Destiny met with Mark Gudgel, vetted him, decided to work with him, flew out to Omaha a couple of times. They're doing their work over there. Great, phenomenal, fantastic. And the powers that be, which is, in this case, a combination of people in Omaha who dislike Destiny, people on Twitter who dislike Destiny, and opposition campaign managers, found out that Destiny is, shall we say, a controversial figure. Particularly with regards to that gun 'em all down, the Kenosha clip, the mowing down protesters, white militia, whatever string of words makes up the complete sentence that was that clip. Anyway, at first it was that. And what seems to have happened was there are people on Twitter who they either worked with or funneled information to this local student journalist group, and these are liberals, the student journalists, I think. I don't know if they were lefties. I don't know if they were like socialists or whatever, but they maybe more I'm still with her types. I don't know. But anyway, they published this article about it, and there were these people in Omaha who seemed to like direct anger against Destiny and Mark Gudgel. Also, it got pretty bad. Apparently, there were business owners who were making shit up about the campaign, not the campaign workers, but the canvassers that Destiny had brought with them, saying that they had been super rude in businesses without proof or evidence or anything like that, and it was because they had like they like knew a person who knew a person. The problem with local politics is that because everything's more small scale, personal relationships mean a lot more, which means that things get way nastier. I'm serious, like way nastier. Now things get nasty on a national level too, but it's usually like big sweeping nastiness. Local politics gets like gritty and immediate and personal. I mean, sometimes you live within like a mile of the person you're running against, and your family knows people who are friends with his family, and it all gets really mixed up. Anyway, the student journalist group wrote what was essentially an attack piece on Destiny, which, while there are salient criticisms to make, seemed fairly misrepresentative. Right now, there's a big post on Destiny's subreddit where he goes over the ways in which it misrepresented his positions, and I want to be really, really clear about this, okay? Nobody here is saying that people should not be held accountable for the things that they say. But if you're influencing local politics in the context of attacking a candidate because of their association with a canvassing group, and you express misinformation in the context of that engagement, you're a scumfuck. You're an absolute piece of shit. I think we can all agree to that. Anyhow, Mark Gudgel, the mayoral candidate, actually started getting heat thrown his way as well. Apparently, there were threats to remove his teaching license because he's a teacher. There were people who were threatening his family. And after this immense pressure in the Omaha area, Mark Gudgel, had to do this, had to drop the association with the wonderfully named omniliberal movement. Now, I want to be really, really clear about something, okay? This is two things. This is an expected outcome, in a way, though I hope not. And this is also very bad. Just because you can expect something to happen doesn't mean that it's not bad. The reason this is bad, well, there are actually two main reasons, okay? From my perspective. First of all, this means this limits my engagement in the future severely. Prospectively. And second of all, this is a limitation that only affects left-leaning people. Only affects left-leaning people. Right-leaning people, you can be a neo-Nazi, you can fuck your dog, whatever, and then you can go out there and support. Nobody cares, because conservatives have no standards, no values. They'll drop anything and everything they believe as long as you're on their side. They have nothing, just void. Yeah, like Nick Fuentes is literally meeting with current existing congressmen. Yeah, UKIP ran all the fucking Skept Sargon and shit. There's nothing. It's just absolutely nothing. So this is a limitation that only affects left-leaning people. Right-leaning people only care about power. I'll make it very clear. There are no grassroots efforts to try to destroy local candidates because they're like too far right. Or like, that's just not happening. And even if there are hit pieces, it doesn't affect them. Conservatives don't care. But liberals and lefties, they care a lot. They'll purity test the shit out of each other. So this is a limitation that only affects us. And it has the power to gatekeep power from entering office. Now, with regards to Destiny and the Mark Gudgel situation, Uvash, can you say you're surprised, though? No, I can't say I'm surprised. Like I said, this is an expected outcome, but it has consequences that I want to talk about. So to finish up the Destiny side of this, he no doubt he's very disappointed about the outcome of this. I would be. He's probably dropped tens of thousands of dollars on moving people over and hotel expenses and food and travel and so on and so forth, So that's very unfortunate. And it seems like Mark Gudgel, from what I can see, is a spectacular mayoral candidate. I looked at the interview that he had with Destiny. He seems like a legitimately intelligent and compassionate person. I mean, it's almost like a storybook candidate. It's not just his political positions. He just seems to have like this really earnest, bright light inside of him that compels him to do good unto the world. I mean, hey, you know, um, take him when you can find him, right? People like that. What about Kimara Snipes? We'll get to her. We'll get to her. Why do you worry so much about Destiny? Most times I watch you always talking about him. This is not about Destiny. I'll get to that in a second. This is this is about me. It's always been about me. You remember the part from Breaking Bad? Remember it's like season 4 or something? And Walt is behind the truck with Jesse, and Walt is like, it's always been about me. It's not you, everything. It's always been me. And Jesse just rolls his eyes and walks away. It's a good scene, you know. I'm rewatching Breaking Bad. It's a good show. Okay, look. Incidentally, Walt ended up being correct in that instance, but anyway, Mark Gudgel is a really, really great guy. I have a lot of respect for him, unless there's some deep skeleton bullshit in his past that I'm not aware of. I think that he's a good man. And also, I want to be clear, I don't think anyone should hold Mark Gudgel accountable for this. If people were threatening my teaching license and threatening my campaign over my association with an internet streamer, and I was a mayoral candidate, don't think... I can't blame him for dropping out of this. I mean, yeah, if his family's getting heat for this, like, yeah. Now, there's this sentence here that he failed to vet Mr. Bennell properly as a result. I sincerely doubt that. If you Google Destiny, I'm pretty sure that, like, the Kenosha thing is, like, the 3rd or 4th result. I'm pretty sure that he knew about this. It's really just you fuck around until you find out. So I think he knew what he was getting into. It backfired. It's unfortunate for all involved. Anyway, the other day, Destiny had some people on stream, and these people were residents of Omaha, as far as I could tell, who were in some way involved in the smear campaign running against Mark Gudgel. And some of these people came on Destiny's stream. There's like 2 or 3 of them or something. I saw a little bit of it. And there's one person in particular who apparently is a fan of Hassan's and was or is, I don't know if it's current or prior, a fan of mine. And I want to be clear, just to like, because this it's important to me, you know. That person is a fucking degenerate and a slimy piece of shit, and they are an antithesis to everything that I am and everything that I represent, and the world would be better if they embraced their Anprim roots and went off into the wilderness and never had a single effect on human civilization again. Was that the dude you banned in chat yesterday? Yes. Don't know if they're still here or anything. Just, you know, just virtue signaling. Call me out for it. But, oh yeah, he ended his convo with Destiny by sexually harassing him. It was so fucking cringe. He was like, pull your dick out and say you're Hassan's little boy. Pull your dick out and say you're Hassan's little boy. And they said that like 20 times in a row. And I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, if delivered appropriately, that could be funny. It wasn't delivered appropriately. And it was also delivered like 20 times. So, no, the edge case where this works, it didn't work. Wasn't good. Didn't work. Oh, they them pronouns. Sorry. I think they them pronouns for that person. Whatever. Anyway, is that related to the post hog strap by Chapo Trap House fans? I think there's a meaningful distinction between seeing a conservative saying that poor people deserve to die and saying post hog, like in the response, and then like being in a call with a person and like shouting it at them over and over and over again, and like adding that weird personalizing element about like Hassan and stuff. I think there's a difference there. You can still say post hog underneath Ben Shapiro if you want to on Twitter. If you want to. I'm not forcing you. Anyway, so this is all very unfortunate. Great fine. Unfortunately, it's come to... It has led me to reconsider some of my plans in the future. So let's talk about what works and what doesn't work. Destiny's original canvassing in Georgia worked because he was not officially associated with Warnock and Ossoff. Nobody could hold Warnock and Ossoff accountable because, like, some person in the state was canvassing for them. Like, this was a race of national importance, you know? Nobody's going to look at like, "Oh, well, hey, you know, there's a person knocking on doors down there and they said mean stuff online." Like, no, there's no connection. The mistake Destiny made here was that he knew the mayoral candidate, like, directly. He talked with him. He spoke with him. He was associated to the point where Mark Gudgel could be held accountable for the behavior of Destiny and the canvassers that Destiny brought with him. That's the key distinction right there. And I thought about it, and I don't know if there's any way that I can make a PAC without directly connecting myself to a candidate. I can't just give money to people. I would need to be involved. I would need to make sure that money is being spent appropriately. I would need to make sure that it's being directed well. I would want to have an input on the way in which it's being applied. Just giving money, just like dumping $250,000 on somebody is not enough. I would need to be associated. Now, I know that if you run a super PAC that you can hide your association, but like, I'm a live streamer. Do you think that, like, do you think that wouldn't come out? Some people are going to say have somebody else manage the PAC. I'm a live streamer. There's no hiding it. I'm going to be talking about it every single day, you know? There's no hiding this. I'm not some shadow billionaire funding things from behind the scenes, okay? I'm going to be yelling about it. It's my PAC. You know, I can't not. Otherwise, how can I support it? How can I push people to move into it? I've thought about it. And I think, and I still need to think about this, I think that the first strategy is best. I think canvassing might be the best option. It's more local and it's more hard work, but I think canvassing might be the best option. Because if you canvass for a congressional candidate, as long as you never directly interact with them, as long as you never make yourself beholden to their campaign, they can't be held accountable for... Oh, did Artemis... Oh, hello! Hey, support my argument. Yeah. This little guy right here, this little fascist, I just don't want some progressive congressional candidate to have their campaign sunk because they hear about all the little mischief this little guy gets up to. Yeah? Look at this. Look at this. Imagine a Justice Dem having to answer for this. You're beautiful. Here, let me set you outside, huh? All right, be free, little buddy. Yeah. Vosh, make the PAC anonymous in big tent. So, wait, I want to be really, really clear about something, okay? I want to be really, really clear about something, okay? Any risk of my involvement in a candidate's campaign coming back to hurt them is unacceptable. If there was a close race and I supported them through a PAC, through a foundation, through any direct association, anything that could be brought back to me and directly connected to them, and it hurt them, that would be on me forever. Well, it would also be on them, because they would accept, you know. What would they try to cancel you for, though? Have you ever name searched me on Twitter? You should look into it, you know? There's a lot of really interesting stuff people say about me. Canvassing might be the best option here. Canvassing is a good option. Canvassing is effective, okay? And I know people who can canvass. And besides, isn't that more of a community effort? My money will go towards food, transportation, hotel. We get people together all over the country. We choose a spot. We choose a district, a state, a county, whatever. We hit there. We never talk with their campaign. We just like them. We never talk, okay? We run on out there. There was here. This could be you, okay? A trigger warning. Destiny's voice. I know. But look at this, okay? It's real cute. This is from Georgia, okay?
I remember in Georgia, there was one girl that came out and she was sitting on a bench crying the entire time. And Doug or Christian or somebody told me that I needed to go talk to them to see like what was going on, like what had happened to this person, because they were like just like shaking the whole time. And I approached them, I sat down, I asked their name, and I just like started some small talk to see what was going on. And I found out that this person had like severe, ultra severe social anxiety, and that they were from Vosh's community. And like the fact that somebody with that level of anxiety would even show up at all to like try to work at one of these canvassing events is like just super amazing. That's so awesome. So I have like a huge respect for anybody that actually makes the journey to do it. And then two, I hope that like some of you kind of like carry these experiences forward with you to like view real life politics through a different lens.
Canvassing is a really cool formative experience. So is it not worth it to try? I don't do this to virtue signal, okay? If I wanted to, I could keep every cent of the money that I get from you people, and I wouldn't lose any support for it. I would just have to deal with slightly more annoying questions about why I get so much in donations. I care about affecting political change. And if there is a risk that my engagement with the political system could tank the campaign, even slightly tank the campaign, even lightly affect it in a negative way, of somebody who has a chance of entering the United States Congress, of entering Congress, I would never be able to live it down. In my head, I don't care about you. I would never be able to let it down to myself. You kidding me? That I could have tanked that? What? Because I was arrogant enough to think that my reputation wouldn't come back to bite me there? No. Okay? Canvassing is safe and effective. Now, I'm going to look more into this. I'm going to restructure a few things. But this is probably a more cost-effective way of organizing my engagement anyway. And there's a reason for that, okay? There's a real big reason for that, okay? You want to hear it? Online engagement is unique because we have a very interesting ratio of ears listening to money accrued. I get about 10 million views a month, or about 1.1 to 0.9, depending on the month, unique viewers per month. That's more than quite a few television stations. There are people who live in mansions in the hills of Bel Air who command an audience a fraction the size of mine. Money is not what I get a lot of. People is what I get a lot of. And with a PAC, I can only contribute money, which is not my specialty. That's the only thing I'm contributing. But with canvassing, we have people. And whereas 250,000 dropped on a PAC may be small change in some races, 200 people canvassing is big anywhere in the country. There is no race, no effort, no coordinated campaign in this country large enough that 200 additional people are insignificant. In fact, we would almost certainly dominate the competition. Wait, is 200 really a lot? 200 is unfathomable. 200 is enormous. 200 is massive. You get 200 together for a weekend, you can knock out a significant portion of a major metropolitan area. 20 is a lot. 50 is huge. 200 is an army. And with a well-coordinated effort, stuff like that can really make a difference. So this is an announcement, okay? I am going to make an effort to rethink my principles here. Hold on. I need to... Bosh, anyone tell you super PACs cannot legally coordinate with candidates or campaign? I'm familiar with the legality of it. It's not whether we can legally coordinate. It's whether or not they could be held accountable for being associated with me. Does that make sense? It's not about the legality. PACs and super PACs, because of the way they work, hold them more accountable for me than canvassing does. I'll never even meet with them if I canvass. They'll never know my name. They'll get elected to Congress, and they'll turn around, they'll say, damn, we had some really amazing grassroots organization towards the last few weeks of our campaign, didn't we? Who was that guy again? Who was that person who... it doesn't matter. And it won't matter. And I'll be smiling. You'll all be smiling, too. And then they'll go to Congress, and they'll do communism or something. Okay? Yeah, I'm like the Dark Knight, okay? Yeah. Yeah, it was Fat Ian. Ha! Making chat bigger. This online stuff, what we do here is weird, but it's real. But it's not as real as what can be done out there, okay? The reason why I was so harsh with that person, Hassan fan, maybe a fan of mine, is because I spit upon anybody who lets petty online beef bullshit get in the way of actual, real efforts at changing the world positively. Oh, and at my behest, I mean, I have to bring this up. Apparently, Mike from PA, a lefty Twitch streamer, I'm sure many of you know him, was quite spiteful about Destiny being dropped from Mark Gudgel's campaign to the point of donating to his opposition. A woman by the name of, what's her name? Something Snipes. Somebody in chat said it earlier. What's the, Kimara Snipes. I looked into her, and she seems like a good candidate. She's not like a Republican or anything like that. But anyway, that kind of behavior. I mean, we're all we're all trying out here, you know. All right. Nice. You understand what's being done here, right? I think I can set aside money for canvassing. I've been paying attention to Destiny's efforts in Omaha because I think they're representative of the kind of work that I might look to do in the future. And I mean, if you put aside $150,000, let's say $150,000. If you just give that money to a campaign, that's only so much. Ads are expensive. And the thing is, the real currency that candidates look for is volunteers, okay? That's the real thing they're looking for. It's not just money. Volunteers matter, in some cases, quite a bit more. Yeah, man hours are expensive, and getting people together to do this. And wouldn't it be cool to meet you guys? I mean, I've seen you for a while, you know, here in chat, but like, we could go out, we can find some cause somewhere in the States, and I can't pay for everyone's travel, but if you're in the area, or if you have the ability to drive or fly, or maybe I could find some kind of reimbursement method, we could get hotels, we could find some big, you know, we can get people together. I'll get you all pizza, you know, a lot of pizza. Anyway, it'd be a community building effort, you know. Now this is all after the pandemic. You know? Vosh, we could do some direct action too, yeah. Like, hold on. If you come out to a state to do canvassing, you're not going to have time to do any like second other anarchist direct action thing. You'll be busy, okay? If y'all come, you're not just here for the fucking pizza. I'm going to be working you asses, okay? We're going to be running all around. Numbers like that can dominate local Democratic Party meetings and town halls. Oh, God, dude. Maybe that could be our Nick Fuentes moment, you know? We could go to, like, a Democratic town hall, and there are, like, 5 or 6 old people in the front, and then, like, 200 gay furries in the back, with me, like, standing behind them, you know? and we just act like annoying assholes. That probably wouldn't accomplish anything at all. That probably wouldn't meaningfully improve the lives of the working people, but you know. But fuck Destiny. There we go. Sorry. Gotta bring that around.